Hey! Alright, I'm not home yet. I needed to do a little driving around. But I'm an on-time bastard. Figured if we're gonna go live, this is about as real as it gets. So yeah, instead of showing up late, I'm just gonna get after it. Alright. Yep. Got breakfast banged out, by the way. 2 cups of coffee, couple of beers. Driving around the neighborhood. Actually, just for fun, if you want to see what it looks like, I'll flip it. Yeah, on a positive note, you get to see what my neighborhood looks like. Oh, got a train. So anyway, yeah, just swinging out to Brother Long Dong's place. Yeah, anyway, today is socializing and things like that. We're going to be covering that topic in detail. Again, forgive a little delay here, but that's how it is. I live inside the Citadel here in Hue City. So yeah, I guess I'll show you what it looks like driving to my house. And the battery's probably going to die. And so we're probably going to have a intermission. So be it. At least get a chance to see a few minutes worth. Hold on, stand by. Xin lỗi bác. Alright, into the Citadel, in the walls. A lot quieter in here. Almost there. I could, this is another reason why I couldn't bicycle from place to place. Oh, right here is Grandpa's. It's closed now, but that's the place you want to be. Quan, by the way, means restaurant. So there's a whole bunch of them. Quan, historic coffee, or historic looking ancient coffee place. Another Quan, yet another badass coffee shop. Oh yeah. And then Way City has a bunch of these canals and stuff, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I live right on one of these canals. Chop chop. All right.
Really nice place, so really happy with it. I'm back at the
Whew. We'll get there. We'll get there. Thanks for your patience. There we go. Okay. Victory. Yeah. Life is back. Now we're on the trolley again. Okay, so let's get. Now today that was kind of cool, the motorbike ride, right? So anyway, today we're talking about socializing. Yeah, about the whole setup that about living out here. Because let's face it, a lot of people neglect this, but ultimately, socializing and your people around you is life. It is life. It is everything. It is everything. Looking at a mountain, looking at a waterfall, or having a neat sight, or going to places that otherwise are beautiful, etc. Even for that matter, being on a beautiful beach is all irrelevant without the people. So again, entire focus is the people. I feel like a good starting point when it comes to people. Here we go. A good starting point when it comes to people is, imagine it this way. I've got a buddy of mine out at the bars, and he is about to move to America. That's cool. He's got some family there in America. That's cool. But the important idea is he doesn't speak a word of English. Okay? So, to keep this all in proper perspective, I want to say this. This man, a Vietnamese man, is about to... Got a lovely wife. Yeah. This man is about to move from Vietnam all the way to America and does not speak a word of English. So, what is his life going to be like once he gets to the United States? Well, he's going to have no idea what's going on. He's effectively going to have 0 friends once he gets to the United States. He's effectively going to be babysat or need someone to babysit him the entire way. And that's sad. And that really, really sucks. That really, really sucks. To say this all a little different way, this fella is going to be going to the United States and going to be sitting alone at home. Basically, sitting alone with his family, more or less. He's going to have no friends, no ability to meet any friends, ability to use the phone, none. No ability to make it happen. No ability to have an independent life. That's sad. Driver's license. Driver's license, for example, for a person who doesn't even speak English. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Even buying a sandwich at Subway is going to be hard. Every single aspect of this man's life, going from Vietnam to America, is going to be difficult. Now, this metaphor of a Vietnamese man moving to America with 0 English is an excellent metaphor for a foreigner coming here to Vietnam. Think about it. This guy, after 5 years, is going to have, again, no friends, going to basically sit at home and watch like reruns of damn Vietnamese karaoke. That's about it. If he's lucky, he might meet 1 or 2 dudes, that are also Vietnamese, that are also completely alone, completely on their own island. And maybe he'll meet them and want to hang out with them and drink rice wine at nights occasionally. Sure. But for the most part, he is effectively deaf, mute, and illiterate. Okay? I'm going to really cover this a lot. That if you're deaf, mute, and illiterate, and you have no friends of any kind, and you're living on an independent island, that sucks a lot. That sucks a lot. So, this same phenomenon occurs when, foreigners want to come here to Vietnam because they come here deaf, mute, and illiterate with no friends, and then they get stuck on some sort of island. Whatever. So, to talk a little bit more broadly, we could say things like, how to get out of the bubble. Okay? And we could call this man going to America with no language skills of any kind as living in the bubble. So, what can you do about that? Well, if this man moving to America had 200 friends, you win. So that's really the important idea here, and that's what we're trying to focus on, is going from deaf, mute, illiterate, living in a bubble, living isolated, alone, and effectively at the level of an infant. Everyone has to take care of him at every single way, to not deaf, not mute, not illiterate, know the language, have a bunch of friends, and being a real man. You have a choice between being a lazy, stupid fool or being a champion. Lazy fool, champion. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. If you're a lazy fool and no language abilities and no friends and whatnot, you're going to be fundamentally isolated. Now, I actually gave 2 videos or 2 video links, which are actually on this YouTube page here on the bottom, about folks that are, yes, deaf, mute, illiterate, and they're expats that are living in Saigon, Hanoi, respectively, and are lonely as hell. and their life sucks. I'm telling you, it's a very real thing. You're welcome to watch those if you want, and you can hear firsthand exactly what they say about it. And there are these two videos that are on this, video description of mine here. They're going to use words like lonely, isolated, sad, depressed, no friends. I cry myself to sleep at night. Yeah, it does suck having no friends. Bottom line. So, if you ask someone the question, is it possible to move from Vietnam to America and have a life and survive with no English, no friends, no nothing? It's possible. Are you going to starve to death? No. But that's not the point. It's going to suck a lot. It's going to suck a lot, living at that level. Now, there's one other aspect that most people don't mention, that most people don't mention. When you are living in a world, whether it's American moving to Vietnam or Vietnamese moving to America with no language and cultural skills and no friends, people are going to fundamentally look at you as less intelligent. Okay? That sounds like a rude thing to say, but yeah, if you're just some dumb white guy that shows up in a school with 5 years, can't count to 10, yeah, people are going to look at you. I mean, they're going to be nice to you. They're going to take pictures with you and stuff like that. But you're fundamentally dumb. You can't even call your own taxi. You can't even, open your own bank account. You can't even walk across the street. You can't even buy something simple. You can't shop at the market. You can't negotiate prices. You can't do anything unless you're babysat. That sucks. If you are married to a Vietnamese woman and you don't even know the word mother, father, wife, bride, things like that, if you're way on this side, people are going to think of you as stupid. You have about the intelligence of a dog. Don't do that. Don't do that. So, let's focus on this idea here. Thank you, Henry. Absolutely. Because everybody's going to think of you as stupid, because you are. Let's face it. You are. If you look at a Vietnamese man or a Lao man that moves to America and in 10 years can't say anything, all he can do is sit at home and watch football and hang out with his 1 or 2 native friends, and that's it. Yeah, you're going to look at him as stupid. When his children grow up and they speak English perfectly, but dad effectively stays home and they have to translate for him and take care of him and buy everything for him, yeah, it's sad to say, but his children are going to think of him as stupid, handicapped. Now, let's go here. The expat bubble. This is why it happens, and so forth. It goes like this. A person gets to a new city, and let's just say an American or, a foreigner comes here to Vietnam. Well, they're going to look for something comfortable, which is to say, they're going to, let's say, go online on an expat forum of some kind. That's cool. Or they're going to go to Westerner bars and that kind of thing. And they're going to try to meet as many people as they can. That's cool. And yeah, let's just say, fast forward 10, 20, 30 days, and they take a look around, and their only 10 friends are expats. Folks that can either, let's say, help them, in a certain regard, or translate for them, show them where to get, a place rented, people to hang out with and have a beer with, someone to break the silence, that kind of thing. That's cool. But fundamentally, after this certain amount of time, your only friends become expats. Hence, you get pulled into the bubble. Now, these are the expat friends that you meet are going to be nice. Of course. They're going to be helpful. Of course. They're going to be great to have a beer with. Of course. Everything about this plan by itself is good. The problem is the long run. In the long run, all you got's what? 5, 10, 20 expat friends, and that's it? Then you stop there. That sucks. It sucks a lot. You're going to be in the bubble and not even know you're in the bubble. You're going to be speaking English to every one of your friends in every single social event of all kinds. And again, you're effectively in the bubble and not even know it. So that is the biggest problem and the biggest issue. Now, there's a lot of folks who actually have lived in the expat bubble their whole lives. For 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. They've lived in this bubble. And yes, 10 years. Deaf, mute, illiterate. Their only friends are white people. That kind of thing. So, to get out of this bubble, obviously you got to expand your friend circle and that kind of thing, right? Easy, easy. Okay. Now I'm telling you, making Vietnamese friends is easy. It's really easy if you have the strategy. Yeah. Well, have a list of strategies. It's true that this is a remarkably friendly country. And yes, they are just standing in line and on their knees to be friends with you if you go about it in the right way. So, let's go there. Let's go there. Step one, learn as much Vietnamese as you can. Like Henry, you and me talked Vietnamese a few days ago. Stuff like that, the basic 5 questions. How to say hello, how to greet, how to meet, things like that. That's terrific. If you've got that only and nothing else, you're sitting pretty good. But you need some basic level Vietnamese for darn sure. But I'm going to keep hitting on this over and over and over again. The basic rules of making friends and having a good life out here and socializing correctly and that kind of thing. Step 1, have a huge smile all the time. Have a huge smile all the time with everybody. When you're having breakfast, having coffee, walking down the street, on your bicycle, on your motorbike. Everywhere you go, under all circumstances, always have a big smile. 2, say hi to everybody. Wave to everybody. And again, in Vietnamese, ciao, 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 xin chào, xin chào, xin chào. That's it. If you have a big smile and say xin chào to everybody, you win the game. I bring countless people out to this area, whether it's couch surfers, students, friends, anybody, and I tell them, rule 1, rule 2, rule 1, rule 2. Big smile, say hi to everybody. If you do, again, those 2 only and nothing else, you win. You will win, and you'll have a huge list of friends, along the way. So, in my own case, we can actually walk around this neighborhood, let's just say, this meaning my neighborhood here, because there's a lot of quans and bars and that kind of thing. And ultimately, we can meet infinite people. Rule 1, rule 2. Rule 1, rule 2. Rule 1, rule 2. Big smile, say hi to everybody. Now, Henry brought up a great question when we were talking together. How do you meet a bunch of people and make a whole bunch of friends really fast? How do you introduce people? Do you just go up and say hi to everyone? Or introduce yourself or interrupt people? You can, but that's a lot of work. Actually, it sounds so simple. I just go to a bar or a restaurant or coffee shop or something like that, and I'll stand outside the coffee shop for a couple minutes. Hell, maybe have a cigarette. Maybe just sit and look in and, look at folks. Inevitably, if there's 20, 30 people sitting inside of a coffee shop, at least 5 of them are going to be staring at you, as you're walking in. At least, if not half, if not everybody. Yeah, you're not going to blend in. To wit, if you just stand there and just wait with a big smile, step 1, step 2, step 1, step 2. A big smile, and everyone that looks at you, say hi. That's it. Hello, 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 hello. Inevitably, somebody's going to wave you over. Hey, you want to have a coffee with us? You want to have a beer with us? You want to come on over here? Yeah, let's sit down with us. Cool. That's pretty sweet. From there, you're gravy. once one person invites you to sit down, it's going to be such a beautiful situation. What I mean is, they're going to be friendly, going to want to get to know you. They're going to ask you the top 5 questions. You know, where are you from? Do you have a wife? Do you have any kids yet? How old are you? What's your name? Where are you living now? How long in Vietnam? Something like that. And from there, they're going to introduce you to all of their friends, probably. And probably going to want to get your Facebook information or phone number or something along those lines. Sweet! So, in the end, yeah, this is really, really, really the winning ticket. And this is ultimately how I make my friends, is ultimately just go from place to place, social place to social place. Rule 1, rule 2, big smile, say hi to everybody. Inevitably get invited, inevitably say hi, ask a few questions. Of course, because I speak Vietnamese, that means I can talk to 100% of people. If I did not speak Vietnamese, that means 99% of people, deaf, mute, illiterate, I can't talk to them. Fundamentally socially isolated. And that sucks. But anyway, moving forward, let's see. Friend networks, making your first 200 friends. Now I want to tell you, in Vietnam, if you have 200 friends, no matter what your goals are, no matter what, your goals are going to be accomplished. Okay? If you have 200 friends, you will never be hungry. Or you're never going to starve, I'll put it that way. You'll always have a roof over your head. You'll always have people to hang out with. You'll always have coffee and drinks and beer and fun and trips. If you have 200 friends, your life is easy. So really, I tell everyone who comes to Vietnam, make 200 friends, 200 Vietnamese friends. So, for example, and I also tell people, if you starved to death in Vietnam, you did not die of starvation. You died of stupidity. And you died because you didn't get out of your bubble. You died of stupidity. And similarly, if you're homeless, it's because you're stupid. So, 200 friends. Now, if you're looking to be like, get in a business and open a coffee shop of some kind, make 200 friends. It'll happen. If you're looking to get into tattoos, let's just say you're a tattoo artist, make 200 friends. You'll inevitably, someone's going to know something about something. And someone's going to know a tattoo guy, going to have someone that needs to hire an employee of some kind. Someone's going to want some sort of, let's say, Western artist of some kind. Like, you name it. If you had 200 friends, mission accomplished, regardless of your goals. Now, 200 friends sounds like a lot. Sure. Maybe some people will argue, well, in my hometown, I don't have 200 friends. Maybe some people will say, I've never met 200 people total in my whole life. All right. But again, in Vietnam, this is a different world. They're highly, highly, highly social here. And highly networky. So people get stuff done here in Vietnam via their friend networks and family networks much more than we tend to in America, for example. Perfect example. I had a couple of my friends that came to Vietnam here to live. And they wanted to rent an apartment, and they wanted to buy a motorbike. That's cool. But I just said, hey, let's go to the bar. Which seems like an absurd plan. Hey, we got to get our life started. We got a lot of things that we need to do right now. Blah, 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 blah. And I say, let's go to the bar and start drinking. And they're like, well, we got to check online. We got to check all these forums. We got to see if we can find like a motorbike online that is going to be at a good price and see if we can arrange a meeting. Plus, we got to be looking at all the forums online to be able to find a house. Let's go to the bar. And yeah, we sat there, had a couple beers, and I said to one of my buddies, hey, hôm muốn thuê nhà trọ. Hôm muốn thuê nhà trọ. Nên biết ai mà đang thuê, cho thuê nhà trọ ha. Được. Gọi đi. Cảm ơn bạn. Yeah, I just asked my friends at the bar, hey, do you guys know anyone who's renting property? Anyone who is a real estate agent, anyone who is a pro at all of this, oh, you do? Oh, your brother-in-law is actually a full-on property rental expert guy? Oh, give him a call. Oh, he can swing by the bar here directly? Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, you do that. Oh yeah, chúng tôi cần muốn một chiếc xe máy. Yeah, ai biết ai mà có một chiếc xe máy mà muốn bán ha. Yeah, hey, we want to buy a motorbike. Anyone got a motorbike for sale or know anyone that's got one? Oh yeah, my buddy is just trying to sell his. He was going to sell his to the shop, but it's actually blah 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 blah. He'll bring it right by right now. Yeah, sure enough. So here we are drinking beer at the bar. And all of a sudden, the real estate guy shows up to the bar, friend of a friend of a friend, and a motorbike pulls up with the guy holding the keys and the blue card. Yep. And everything worked out gravy. And all this is banged out in less than an hour. Now, if we would have done all of this online, if we would have searched around online to try to find people that are going to sell motorbikes and otherwise rent property and stuff like that, it would have taken a long time and we would not have made progress. But because we're in Vietnam, because it is a friendship network, it was fast and easy. Piece of cake. This is a micro example of how this all fits together and how it really works. So again, it's pretty cool. Now, making friends. Now, I did want to point out this whole, how fast this expands and the viralness, of it all. Now, this might sound weird to you because it may sound contrary to your previous life or your life until now, but this is to give you a picture how this works. Okay, my neighbors, fair enough. When I first got here to Vietnam, great. Boom, 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 boom. I have 3 nearby neighbors. Great. Well, if I get to know them, that means they're inevitably going to introduce me to every one of their friends that comes by. Cool. And then I'm going to get invited to weddings, inevitably, or other family events of some kind. Terrific. But let's just say I meet these 3 people. Awesome. Well, the next day, I'm probably going to meet 1 to 5 more, friend of a friend. Cool. I go to the coffee shop in the morning. And I'll probably play chess with one guy, meet him. And then perhaps meet his son along the way. Or maybe I'll meet 3 people over coffee. So far, so good. And get their contact information, that kind of thing. Lunch, yeah, I'm going to go to a store or a restaurant and I'm probably going to meet anywhere from 1 to 5 more people over lunch. That's cool. And then over dinner and drinks, yeah, I'm just going to walk around until I hear a party of some kind going on, typically with old guys. Yep. And probably going to sit and meet them. So 1 to 5 more old guys. All right, boom. First day. That's what, 12 people? I just met 12 people for whom I know their names and so forth. The next day, I'm going to meet 12 more, but my phone's going to ring. I'm going to get invited to a lunch, a dinner, coffee, something. And let's just say I say yes to somebody to go to lunch. Terrific. Once I go out and they're not going to be alone, they're probably going to invite like 4 people too. So now I'm going to know one guy, and now I'm going to meet his 4 friends. Ding, 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 ding. Get all of their Facebook, contact information, that kind of thing. Oh, we want to take you out for coffee or dinner sometime. Great. That's cool. And then when you meet each one of their friends, yeah, they're going to introduce you to 2, 3, 4, 5 more friends. So every person, it's just, it becomes a huge tree, and it's exponential. It's highly exponential. You do get to a point where your schedule becomes 100% full. It sounds weird to say that, but it happens. For example, how many meals can you eat in one day? Don't say 10. 3? Okay, let's say 5. You eat 5 meals a day. Early breakfast, pre-lunch, post-lunch, early dinner, and then 4th meal, or midnight snack, 5th meal in this case. All right, you get 5 meals a day. That's cool. How many times can you drink coffee a day? Don't say 10. 2? 3? Okay. So now you have 8 total appointments that you're able to do per day, reasonably speaking. And this is assuming that you have all kinds of free time. If you have basically infinite free time, nothing else to do, You have maximum 8 appointments per day that you could do with people. Dates, if you will, meeting women, for example, hanging with friends, etc., etc., etc. Define it how you want. That's cool. But that's 8 a day. Now, it doesn't take long until, due to the friendliness in Vietnam, you get more than 8 requests a day. That doesn't take long at all. When you have 200 friends, if 1% of those friends call you, yep, or, whatever, 5% of those friends call you, yep, your schedule's already full, pretty much. So yes, it did get to the point very, very quickly. In my own case, within my first week, I was fully booked. 5 meals a day and then 2 to 3 coffee, drinks, situations per day. Back to 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 back. Yes, I needed Google Calendar to keep it all straight because it was so incredibly, I don't want to say complicated or overwhelming, but full. Yeah, your schedule gets really full really fast out here. You can just cruise the social networks here in Vietnam fast and easy. Until, yes, it does get to the point where it's like, oh, you want to invite me for coffee? That's cool. Well, yeah, I am fully booked for the next 4 days. Best I could do is catch you Friday, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, that happens. There is a fundamental limit to how much friendliness you can take, and there's a threshold to how many friends you can reasonably entertain, meet, and see. And you hit this fundamental limit really fast, here in Vietnam. So, making 200 friends in Vietnam, if you play your cards right, takes like a week, pretty much. And yes, if you follow Rule 1, big smile. Rule 2, say hi to everybody. Yep, you'll be there in no time. Now, while we're at it, I've got, I'm not a big technology user necessarily, which is to say, I don't find friends online, Facebook. I've never used Tinder before. I don't use meetup.com. I don't really hang around the expat forums that much or stuff like that. I just meet people the old-fashioned way. However, I do have friends of mine that use, let's say, couch surfing. 14,000 hosts in Saigon. 14,000 people are sitting there standing by, hoping to meet expats and wanting to go out to dinner, coffee, have them over at their house, etc. You could go to Saigon couch surfing page and use that one page only, and you could make 200 friends really, really, really fast. Yeah, definitely within your first month, if not in your first couple weeks. Buddy of mine, Justin Simpson, he realized that in Hue City, couchsurfing.com, there is thousands of hosts. I forget the number. Let's say 4,000 hosts. And there's no way he can meet all 4,000. So he decided to cut that number in half because half of them are women. So he decided to only meet friendly women who are Vietnamese, who live in this city, who are otherwise hosting either at their house or hosting coffee, dinner, something like that. Which is, let's just say 2,000 women standing by. Yep. And couchsurfing is a friendly environment by definition. It's not like Tinder. It's not a dating website. But so be it. Look, this guy, he disappeared for like a week. Because he's like, well, I got early breakfast with these 2 gals, and I'm going to be having coffee with this gal. Then I'm having a lunch with these 3 women, and then I'm having a post-lunch coffee with this person. And then we're going to walk the Citadel with this girl, and then I'm going out to dinner with this girl, and then later in the evening I'm going to go out, to this rooftop coffee shop from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'm booked. Yeah, and he was gone. And like the 4th or 5th day, I finally saw him, and he was sprinting up the stairs out of breath, like, hey, Brad, okay, it's been so busy. Okay, I've been back to back for the last like 4 days, and now I still got another appointment or another gal that I'm going to meet. I've never met her before, but we just saw her on couchsurfing, but we're going to be having lunch together in a few minutes, so I got to quickly get back on my bike and go over there. I just got to get a little bit more money, and then I'm going to be going. Yep, that's totally real. Later, I didn't see him for 3 more days. Justin Simpson, bless his heart, He met, what, like 40 women? Like 40 friendly, nice, local Vietnamese women off of couch surfing. Obviously without the goal of like getting romantic or getting with them. Just met. Met 40 women in what? Not even a week? Yeah, that's real. That's totally real. That's totally real. And again, you meet somebody who's really nice. You don't just see him once and that's it, generally. Yeah, you have a fantastic lunch with somebody. They're inevitably going to invite you again, perhaps tomorrow. Yeah, and when they come back tomorrow, they're going to want to introduce you to their friends. Yep. Then each one of those friends are going to want to introduce you to their friends, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Yeah. You can do this. You can ride the waves. You can socialize and do the networks and flow down this entire like tree of connections forever. Oh yeah. It doesn't take long at all to get lost in it all. Now, I do have other friends that, they do some online looking, a little couch surfing perhaps, but they also, use apps like Tinder. You know, and Tinder is more of a dating website kind of thing, as you all know. But, that does exist out here. Again, it's never been my personal MO, but, if you want to go on 5 dates a day, though, can be done. I've got friends of mine that have gone on 5 dates a day. Just using Tinder only. Pretty easy. Swipe right, swipe left. Okay, you want to meet up here? Great. Tinder does not like forge your relationship for you. No. All it does is make that initial introduction. Sweet. Hey, if that's your MO, if that's something that you're after, more power to you. But don't rely on couch surfing only. Don't rely on Tinder only, on Facebook only. Don't be afraid of the good old-fashioned, walk out, shake hands with people the old-fashioned way, and meet people the old-fashioned way. That's the winning ticket. Now, a few things. When you do meet people, look, have kick-ass business cards. Have really kick-ass business cards. I have got banging business cards. Oh yeah, picture me skydiving on the front of it. The whole works. And Facebook information on there, all this, all that. Yeah, I've got banging business cards. And I also have like on the back, hey, dạy về giao tiếp và tiếng Long tiếng Anh và blah blah blah. I teach culture and slang and common communication for anybody. Custom, especially those in the service industry of sorts. Blah, blah, blah. I got that all right in the back. Perfect. So I give someone a card and that's it. I might give them 5 because they're going to pass them out to their friends. Yep. Works great. Have kick-ass business cards. If you've got that and nothing else, you're doing good. You're doing damn good. People in Vietnam and people in general really hang on to business cards. They really do. Just to give you an idea, 100 of them are about $5. So I suggest to folks, when you first get here, get 200 business cards and run out of them as quickly as possible. Every one that you hand out, that means another person you met. Yeah, the faster you run out, the better. So I usually buy folks their first 200. Get rid of them. Okay, business cards. Next, you have a means of connecting with folks, which is to say, have Facebook Messenger, which is a big one. Yes, people in Vietnam also use like Zalo and occasionally WhatsApp, among other apps. Get them all! What the hell? You need as much as you can. But yes, in my own experience out here, Facebook is the winning ticket. Now, one thing I did want to mention with regards to Facebook, they do have a scan code option. What I mean is, if you go into Facebook Messenger and you want to add people, you can add people and then add by code or scan code. And either way, then just like it sounds, your phone has a code on it, and then they take their phone, beep, and you scan it like a barcode. Yeah, that's way easier than Nguyen T. Okay, so that is N, and then U, and then E with a hat over it, and then it's got the squiggle. How do I write that? Oh, damn it. And then it's a T. So is that T-I or T-E-A? And then beep. Yeah, scanning a code. Figure it out. Google it. It's super easy. Super easy. And when I have a group of 5, 10 people, yeah, I show them how to pull up their code, and I just take my phone. Beep, 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 beep. I have all 5 people. Wave, 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 done. So simple. When you get to Thailand, let's just say, and you want to meet folks, and it's like, well, my name is like, you know, chicken-looking squiggle thing, upside down W with a little loop on the right. Beep, scan code. Yeah, so definitely have that figured out. You know, don't be a stupid fool. Be a champion. Champions, you know, scan Facebook Messenger codes, period. And champions have business cards. Dumb fools don't. Simple as that. Now, I did want to touch on this. I don't have I don't use my Vietnamese phone number. Okay? Now, obviously I have a SIM card. Oh, and to be real fair, real quick, you get a goddamn SIM card. It's $5 for 120 gigs of data a month. It annoys me to no end when I run across, well, Vietnamese people have this because they're smart, but when I run across like a traveler, you know, and I want to like meet them on Facebook, oh, sorry, I saved $5 this whole fucking month, so I don't have data. Hence, I can't send you a message. Hence, I can't talk to you. Hence, I can't connect with you, meet you, or anything like that. I'm trying to save money. Get a goddamn SIM card. If you got a SIM card, meeting people is easy. Sending messages is easy. Phone number. Now, on the surface, it makes perfect sense that having a phone number out here and connecting and using that phone number would be the way to roll. And yes, everyone in Vietnam does have a phone number. And yes, that is the primary means of communication for most people most of the time. Those old black little Nokia phones are a thing out here. Huge thing. In fact, a lot of people have 4 cell phones. Oh, yeah. Fun fact, Vietnam is 170% cell phone market penetration. What that means is, basically everyone here has a cell phone, but at least half the people, more than half the people have at least 2. So yeah, that's all good. All makes sense. But when you scale this up, like at the scale I'm talking about, it becomes an issue. Here's why. Okay? I got to the point where I got about 100 phone calls a day. Okay? And no, they weren't evenly sprinkled out throughout the day. And yes, a lot of them did occur after midnight. Oh yeah. And when you get done doing the math, it means my phone is ringing about every 10 minutes. At the scale I'm talking about, again, think about this. I've got, you know, it doesn't take me long. In 1 week, 100 people have my cell phone number. Okay? Which sounds cool. And yes, I do have infinite, you know, drink opportunities. And yes, I do get invitations this way and so forth. Yeah. But we have some issues. Issue 1. There's some people who are like, oh, they're sitting drunk at a bar and they're like, I got an American friend. Let me prove it to you guys. Blip, 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 blip. Wow! Talk to my other friends. Ah! Yeah. So now I'm getting this random phone call from a guy I don't know, somewhere that I don't know where I met him, who's calling, what he wants, and all I hear is a bunch of drunken yelling, and then I feel like the phone is open in the middle of a party. That sucks. Then I get people who are begging for money. Yeah. Now, that'd be fine if it's once a month, but then it becomes 10 times a day. 10 phone calls a day is somebody calling to beg for money. You know, like, oh, the loan sharks are after me, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. And actually, it doesn't sound that clear. What it actually sounds like is, chúng tôi đi, có đi tiền nè, cho nên bán đang mà, bây giờ có tay đánh đáy đánh đáy, bây giờ có đi tiền nè. That's what it sounds like, 10 times a day. All right, you see the problem here. Oh, and then a fair number of men are homosexual. And let's just say 5%, just for fun. Well, after you meet 200 people, that's at least 10 homosexual men who are drunk at a bar who have my phone number. What happens next? Oh, do they only call once? Nope. They call over and 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 over. So now, 25 times a day, I have a drunk homosexual man wanting to fuck me. Okay? Again, when you scale this up, at a certain scale, a phone number becomes unmanageable. That means that due to the 5% of 200 is a big number. 5% of 1,000 is a big number. The bullshit that you get is unmanageable. When you get to 100 phone calls a day, or a phone call every 10 minutes, 90% of which are bullshit, you eventually realize that it's not worth it. So, I do not have a phone number that I use in Vietnam, and I never give out my phone number in Vietnam. Because inevitably, it's going to be a bunch of bullshit that I got to deal with. In contrast, if somebody sends me a Facebook message, at least I know who they are, ideally. And at that point, I can also ignore if I want to. Furthermore, typically on Facebook, people send messages as opposed to call. I would rather get a message written by somebody, whether it's, even if it's in Vietnamese, I can read it more readily than, what the fuck? Yeah, at least if it's a message, I can get it. Bottom line, it's more legit. And fun fact, nobody begs for money on Facebook Messenger. And no drunk old homosexual men contact me on Messenger. That's pretty handy. So beware of that. A phone number is a good thing to have. But at a certain scale, and the scale lifestyle I'm talking about, a phone number is unmanageable. Now, I did want to point out that older Vietnamese guys, this is how they get in contact with each other. Or this is kind of like the meeting somebody protocol. You know, hey, you're a nice guy. Oh, let me buy you a drink. You buy me a drink. Hey, what's your phone number? I'll give you a call sometime. Yep, that's the protocol. But yeah, once 100 dudes have your number, you're fucked. In a bad way, in this case. Now, phone numbers. Facebook, good. Now, here's a big one. Follow up with people. Follow up. A way of saying this in a little different way is, all right, making sure this is all set here. When you do meet people and you do, let's say, connect on Facebook Messenger or something along those lines, follow up with them, okay? For example, after you meet, just be like, hey, good meeting you. Here's a link of something that we were talking about, blah, 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 blah. Or, hey, good to meet you back at Grandpa's bar at such and such place. If you want to go to such and such, coffee shop sometime, let me know. Cool. Follow up with folks and let them know that you care. Let them know that you're there. It's not that hard. Let alone a week later, drop a line to somebody. Yeah? I know these tips are rather disjointed, but I'm doing my best to kind of keep it all together. Now, in the meantime, other tips include avoiding issues and negative people. Okay? Most people, most of the time, are remarkably positive and are the most friendly and wonderful people that you can meet and will be your best friend for life and will see you in a friendly way forever. About 5% of people are bad news. 5 or 10%. Somewhere in there are bad news, which is normally not a problem. A normal expat under normal circumstances, meets 10 Vietnamese people a year? Yeah, it's pretty rare you're going to have an issue of any kind, okay? But again, when you meet 200 a week, yeah, you're going to run across tons of them, okay? When I talk about negative people, I mean like touchy people. Yep, you're going to get a lot of that, a lot. Vietnamese people are touchier than American people. Watch out for that. You're going to get people, who are like, beg you for money, or people who want to show you off to their friends and family. That's a thing. That's a really big thing. They want to invite you over to their house because they want to prove to their friends and family that they have a foreigner friend. Which is fine, especially if there's free beer there. I'll say yes to that. That's cool. But bear in mind that a fair number of people are going to contact you and be around you and want to talk to you because they want to show you off to their friends. That's a thing. Beware of that. And again, milk it if you want. But also, there are some people that will buy you infinite beer because they purposely want to get you as drunk as they possibly can because it's funny to them. Challenge accepted. Yeah, challenge accepted. Fine, but just bear that in mind. They are your friends and they are helping you out. But if you become just a, bag of dicks here, that's funny to them. They're not necessarily always looking out for your best interests. They're entertaining themselves because of you. So bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. You do get plenty of negative people, and I'll touch on this a little more later. But just be really aware of that. And be sure to set your boundaries, where you can. For example, me personally, I hate it when somebody licks my face and licks my ear. I hate that. I also hate it when somebody screams in my ear. Ah! Every day. It happens every day. Every day. Not occasionally, not once a year, every day. And when people want to talk, they're very touchy here. So they're like hand on the lap, arm over the shoulder, screaming in my ear, licking my face, resting their head on my... Yep, all of this is real. Totally real. Again, normal expats don't face this. But at my scale, oh yeah. You got to really have these boundaries. So, I tell people directly, đừng sợ. Yeah, no, gọi tai nghe rồi. Yeah, no, ngồi xuống đi. Yeah, tôi gọi tai nghe rồi. No, you sit down over there, brother. I can hear you perfectly fine. You don't need to scream in my ear for me to hear you. If they ever get close, I push them back. Sit down. I can hear you. I can hear you already. If they touch me too much, like hand on the lap, etc., I'll just tell them that directly. Hey, đừng sợ. Yeah, đừng sợ. Yeah, tôi đang đây, đừng sợ. I'm here, I'm fine, I'm your buddy, but don't touch me. I can hear you perfectly fine. I am perfectly close to you right here, right now. And yes, there are a fair number of occasions where I ultimately have to grab my chair and move to a different table, move to a different place, move to a different location. Most people are respectful most of the time, but 10% of 200 is a big number. It's 20 people that are just going to be total dicks. And that's fine. Nothing against Vietnam, but you have to have a strategy, to get over this. And yeah, maybe moving to a different table, pushing people back, asserting yourself. Don't scream in my fucking ear, man. I can hear you perfectly fine. Blah, 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 blah. Have strategies. Next. You are going to have a tremendous number of people who are going to want to introduce you to their other friends, okay? Running this whole network thing. Yeah. Milk it. Make it happen. So here's generally how it works. Let's just say I've got Uncle Six's, which is a bar right across the way here. Maybe I'll do a live stream from there someday. But yeah, I go there basically every day, and it's basically a bar. That's cool. And so it's a regular stop that I make. So obviously, first name basis, with all kinds of folks across the board. While we're on the topic, I can sit and chit chat with folks. It's kind of like the bar Cheers, you always got someone to talk to and be with, etc. Sometimes people show up alone, but they are down to socialize. You bring a cup over and cheers them, they'll say yeah. But either way, sit down and have a lot of drinks with, let's say, 5 people. Cool. Let's zoom in on this situation because it's rather common. Okay? Sitting around at a table with somewhere between 3 to 6 other people. And I might accidentally say 6 guys, just for fun, because that's normally the group that I'm with. Okay, here's a few protocols. Number 1, get to know everybody first. That means shake hands with everybody. I put this in one of my other videos, and I'm going to send the link here right now. The words that you need in order to party in Vietnam. Yep. Here it is. Copy link address. Got it. Got it. All right. Anyway, I'll have this up in a moment. But either way, toi ten. Yeah. You're going to need these words. And ultimately, here we go. Got it. There we go. Here we are. Yeah. Toi ten bao, ban ten yi. Yeah, something like that. You're going to need this. You got to introduce yourself. Oh, and by the way, with these top 10 words, if you knew this list and nothing else, you win. You still win. So, this is a kick-ass list. Introduce yourself to everybody. Now, obviously, along the way, they're going to ask you, how old are you? Bao nhiêu tuổi, or mấy tuổi. So be sure that you know your own age. Makes sense. That's probably question 1, if not question 2. Somewhere in that order. Inevitably, they're going to ask, dan tu nuk nào, or ban nuk nào, ban ở đâu, ban đang ở đâu, ban dan tu đâu. Where are you from, ultimately? You better know that. Know the name of your own country, Mỹ, for example, or Denmark, or Nam Phi, South Africa, or Ireland, Tweedian, Sweden, whatever the case is, Pháp, France. 100% of people are going to ask you. And then they're going to ask if you have a wife yet, or a husband yet, or a family yet. Inevitably, every time, 100% of people will ask you this question. Có vợ chưa? Có chồng chưa? And rồi, already. Yes, I do have a wife already. Or chưa có, I don't have one right now. Something along those lines. Great. That's how we establish friendship. Great. Then, obviously in your own case, you ask that same question to these same 5 people. Great. Now we're friends. Now we're established. Now they'll rest a hand on your knee because we're all close buddies and friends. Great, great, great. Now, when you're sitting there with a group of Vietnamese people, there's a collectivism, that's going to be happening. To say this a different way, we do everything together and everything is shared. So, for example, if you're a smoker, even if you're not, everybody puts all of their cigarettes in the middle of the table and they're open for everybody. If one person brings a bottle of booze, it's in the middle of the table. If one person orders a dish of food, it's going to be placed in the middle of the table and everybody can eat from it without asking. Yep. When we buy a bunch of beers, we put all the beers in the center of the table and then pour them into individual cups. And because everyone can share beer with everybody. Yep. And this is just how it rolls. And for that matter, even when we take a sip, that's going to be collective as well. So an example of that would be, I would never just take my glass, take a sip, and then look into space. No. Every single sip is done collectively. Sin mai, sin mai. Elbow, hand on the elbow, hand on the arm, hand on the hand. Sin mai. Cheers. Then take your sip, set it back down. Never drink alone. Never take a sip alone. Never even order one single beer for yourself. Nope. Everything is collective. If you know that ahead of time, you're doing great. Now, I point this out specifically because this is opposite of our American way of thinking about it. In other words, in America, it's really common for one person to bring one bottle just for themselves, or keep their cigarettes in their pocket and then just pull one cigarette out of the pack, out of their pocket, and then smoke that one by themselves and put it back. That's common. But in Vietnam, that's highly insulting. Yeah, what kind of asshole does that? What, that selfish bastard? Blah, 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 blah. Something like that. So it's all collective, and we're all together, and we're all in on this. Cool, 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 cool. Now, along the way, it's very common where, let's just say, there's 8 tables or 10 tables or something like that. it's very common for one individual to go from table to table and do like a cheers with everybody. Okay? And it'll sound like this. They will come up with a mostly full glass, and you know why they're coming. They're just coming to say hello. This is what it looks and sounds like. Okay? And it's a very nice thing. They will come by, look you in the eyes, and be like, oh, hello, xin chào. You know, xin mai. You know, oh, he's coming to do a cheers with us. Great. And usually I'll do the cheers first, then introduce myself. So to be like, all right, ciao, bak. Hey, hello, uncle. Yo. Bak Tanyi. Yeah, what's your name, uncle? Oh, hello. Oh, yeah, Toi Ten Bao. How old are you? Bao Niu Tui. Dan Tu Nuk Now. Which country are you from? Kobo Chua. Do you have a wife yet? Oh, yeah, I live over on this street. Oh, good to meet you. All right. Shake hands. Hand on the arm, hand on the elbow, hand on the hand. Shake hands again. If I have a business card, I will hand it, since I hand him a business card. Hey, we'll see you around. Great, done. It's somewhere between 2 to 5 minutes. They're just coming by and saying hi with everybody. It's a very friendly and very nice thing to do. Now, you may not be used to that. For example, this would be a little weird in America to have just one guy walking around with a glass of beer, going from table to table, interrupting folks. Cheers with everybody. Shake hands. Next table. Hello, everybody. Cheers. Shake hands. But that's a thing in Vietnam. That's how they roll. So it's beautiful if you're ready for it. And while we're on the topic, you can do that same thing. Yeah. As long as you know, where are you from? What's your name? Do you have a wife yet? Yeah. Anyway, this is the way that people roll and get to know each other. So yes, it does happen that in one day, I can make 20, 25 friends plus in one bar easily in 4 hours. Easily. If I'm sitting there alone, which is to say I didn't go there with any friends directly, didn't go there with my wife, etc. I just show up at the bar totally alone and sat totally alone. Yep. Inevitably, someone's going to, maybe come up to my table while I'm sitting there alone. Cheers. Hey, do you want to sit with us? Please do. Let me invite you for a beer. Yeah. Going to happen. So this is basically how it rolls. And it is super fun if you let it be. Now, you are able to go to outfits like this and only drink soda. Sure. Or only drink tea or only drink water. Sure. You could buy a bottle of vodka and only drink cocktails if you wanted to. Sure. But bear in mind, they are going to be very pushy people. And they are going to want to, sin mai, take a sip. About once every 2 minutes, just to give you an idea. Anyway, as time goes on, getting to know folks, the more you're Vietnamese, the more Vietnamese you know, the deeper you can get. For example, what is your job? Tell me more about that. Hey, what happens here? Which part of town do you live in? How old are your kids? And, friendly stuff like that. Yep. Usually within the first 10 minutes, they're going to ask for your phone number. That's just how they roll. And obviously I tell them no. And kind of go from there. Now, when it comes to buying and money and socializing, in general, Vietnamese people love to treat you as an expat or as a foreigner. It's their pleasure to buy beer for you. Now, let's be clear. There is a huge difference between deaf, mute, illiterate, living in an expat world, going downtown with all the other expats, and it's like 100,000 a beer or 50,000 a beer, versus local neighborhood in Vietnam here, and I speak Vietnamese, and I live here in this neighborhood, and it's 8,000 a beer, which is like 30 cents a beer. And I'm the only foreigner in this neighborhood. Okay, huge difference. So in this instance, it's a rare day someone buys me a beer. In this instance, it's a rare day I pay. Because, let's face it, for somebody to buy like 10 beers in a bar, what are we talking, $4? Pfft, that's nothing. Most would argue. Even for Vietnamese people, that's laughable. So yes, it's very common that one person will buy all the beer in the group. fun tip. If you follow rule 1, big smile. Rule 2, say hi to everybody. And then rule 3, learn some Vietnamese. You know, and rap with a couple folks, chances are you're not going to pay for any beer ever. Chances are people are just going to invite you, you for beer pretty much indefinitely. Especially if you try to pull out money, like you sit down with folks, have one beer, and then you pull out money right then, inevitably they're going to say, no, you don't pay, we got you, buddy. No, you put that away. Don't you dare ever take your money out again. Perfect. Something along those lines. So anyway, and then from there, if you want to establish a more long-term thing with folks, maybe there's one person that, I've run across folks that want to learn from me, or one guy that wants a website made, okay, or one guy that's a real estate guy, oh, I better remember him, or one guy that repairs motorbikes, and yeah, he's my neighbor, and I met him at the bar, and he'll repair my motorbike for free, just because we're buddies. Sweet. Yeah. Getting stuff along these lines is pretty awesome. But yeah, other folks just say, hey, I'll see you around. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Now, names. I'm going to switch subjects here. Okay? Names. This is a two-way street here. Number 1, it's a good idea, have a Vietnamese name. Have a Vietnamese name. Doesn't sound very complicated. In my own case, Brad, in America, is rather difficult for the average Vietnamese person to say. It'll come out like ebadat, bala, bleh, baka, is how it sounds. Now, this is an issue because, for example, maybe there's 20 distinct people that know me, and maybe I told all of them my name is Brad, but they all pronounce it differently. You know that white guy named Black? Or do you know that guy named Black? Do you know him named Browlet? Black? Nobody knows who each other is talking about because they all pronounce it in a different way. Next problem. When I sit there talking with the given person, I'm like, my name is Brad. Oh, you mean Armak? No, it's not Armak, it's Brad. Oh, you mean Balat? No, it's not L, it's Brad. Oh, Blat? No, it's not Blat, it's Brad. Oh, Blat? No, it's not Blat, it's... How long do you want to fuck with this? Question. How long do you want to fuck with this? You want to fuck with this for 20 minutes? And after 20 minutes, he still won't be able to pronounce it and definitely won't remember, and he's super frustrated? This whole meeting a guy, which should be the easy part, Oh, hey, John, I'm Fred. Great, done. That's how fast it should be, but now it became a 20-minute pain in the ass because your name is impossible to pronounce in Vietnamese. I have a buddy of mine from France. His name is Apparition. No, that's not going to work. I'm like, how many foreigners pronounce that right the first time? Never. Okay? How many Vietnamese pronounce that right the first try? Never happened. Bro, the problem's you. Choose a Vietnamese name. So we switched his name to Appa, which is, in Korean, means like handsome guy. And all the Korean dramas, the handsome guy is named Appa. So now he just, instead of Apparition, Appa. Hey, Appa, yay! All women think he's super handsome, beautiful, and awesome. Yeah, life is good. Sweet. Sweet. This isn't very hard. This isn't very hard. If you pick a Vietnamese name, and I would be delighted to help if you contact me personally, or nose around if you'd like, then your whole interactions for the rest of your life here in Vietnam will be a lot easier. Much, 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 much easier. My Vietnamese name is Bao. Piece of cake. The people hear it one time and they get it the first try. And they know exactly how to spell it and they remember forever. Yep. No confusion, no issues. And I might, it means protector, so I might add other things like Babe means to protect. Bahim means insurance. Oh, okay. But also, Bakaoshu means rubber protector or condom. So yeah, I'll throw that out like, bảo hiểm, đúng mua bảo hiểm. Vì tôi sẽ bảo vệ khi đeo bảo cao su. Yeah, like, don't worry, you don't need insurance because I will protect you every time you put on a condom. Something like that. Bow, bow, bow. And inevitably everyone laughs, and they remember forever. Easy. Okay, have a Vietnamese name. Next, while we're on the topic, it's a two-way street. Obviously, you're going to meet Vietnamese people, and obviously these Vietnamese people are going to have a Vietnamese name. Yep. Now, you're in luck, because the list of unique Vietnamese names is very finite. What that means is it's less than 100. In fact, I'll bet if you just were vaguely familiar with even 10 Vietnamese names, that will cover like 50%, And let's face it, imagine you go to Italy, how many Peters and Pauls are you going to meet in Italy? More than 5% of people are going to be named Peter or Paul. That would be an example. So it's wise to look at this top list. In fact, I will do my best to, just Google it. Google it. Top most common names in Vietnamese. And yeah, you'll find it no trouble at all. So yeah, get to know names. Now, Vietnamese names have meanings to them. Okay? In other words, Fred doesn't really have a meaning. Mike doesn't really have a meaning. But in Vietnamese, people's names are like Tien, which means prosperity, or Phuc, which means happiness, or Phu, which means like millionaire, or, things along those lines. So it's really wise to know the meanings of, in my case, I know pretty much every meaning of every name, but certainly the top 10. And yeah, if you can come up with ways of remembering it, that goes a long ways. For example, a buddy of mine is named Kong, C-O had over it N-G. So far, so good. Well, now I think of something that has Kong in it, like Công Viên, which means public park. Công Công means public. Or whatever the case is. Cuong means strength. Oh, okay, so I'll be like, Cuong, yeah, got it. Nyak means music. Okay. That kind of thing. So if you know the meanings of names and it helps your mind associate it, you're doing good. Bottom line, focus your energy on the names. No point or very little point in meeting 200 people and not remembering a single person's name. That kind of sucks. It also sucks when you see the same person every day, 5 days in a row, and you still don't know their name. You're dumb. You're stupid. Most importantly, you're lazy. Come on. Don't be a stupid, dumb fool. Be a champion. Champions remember names. Champions have Vietnamese names. Champions are good at this. Champions have a lot of friends. Champions can meet somebody one time and then a week later meet them again and remember them. Yeah, that's what champions do. So, yeah, do the names thing, have it figured out, have it squared up, be smart about this. And the better you can remember, the more you can do, the better. And now, when we're, okay. Next, when it comes to business-related things and building a network, okay? Everybody has different goals as far as this is concerned, okay? For example, what I don't recommend is trying to set up a coffee shop, restaurant, bar, or hotel. I have a video on that, why that's a terrible plan. But maybe you want to work at a tattoo shop, or you want to work in a hotel, or maybe you're a cook and you want to be a consultant for various restaurants, in the neighborhood. Let's just use that as an example. Cool. Well, try to seek out those people. And try to, for example, if you're into tattoos, just walk into every tattoo shop you can find. Walk in, shake their hands, Bạn tên gì? Đến từ nước nào? Khẩu vợ chưa? Bao nhiêu tuổi? Yep. Same questions. Get to know them. Hand them a business card. Ask some questions about their life and who they are and what's up. Maybe scan code. Get their Facebook deal, and then take them out for coffee sometime and say, hey, I want to learn tattoos, something along those lines. Great. Yeah. Build your network that way. Inevitably, if you meet 1 or 2 or 3 tattoo guys, they're going to have a bunch more tattoo friends. So maybe you could just say, hey, I'm an American that did tattoos in America, and I'm an artist, and I would love to see the different designs you have, and I would love to add to it and meet a handful of your friends. Cool. Well, hey, could we, you free for lunch tomorrow? Oh, great. Yeah, so maybe how about 11 o'clock tomorrow? We'll have coffee and food. All right, terrific. Well, let's meet across the street from your tattoo shop here. Sound good? Awesome. Well, go there, meet 5 tattoo guys, and just tell them what you're doing. And, yep. And if you're cool, and if you're smart, and if your Vietnamese is on point to a reasonable degree, and you're a champion, yeah, you're going to meet all these people. They're going to love you. And then they're all going to want to connect you with all of their friends. Sweet. So, yeah, it's actually a really awesome combination by the time you're done. And, and from there, just meet more and more and more and more. And maybe they've got other friends that aren't tattoo guys, but are mural painters. And then 2 buddies who are DJs. And then a couple other friends that are world travelers, rock stars. You're going to meet all kinds of related people in that field. Awesome. Awesome. Now, let's just say you didn't want to necessarily do tattoos, but all you want to do is just meet fun people just to talk to, etc. Well, if you're an American guy, even with a minimal Vietnamese, other than your basic 5, where are you from? Do you have a wife yet? How old are you? Blah, 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 blah. If you just go to a public park, there's tons of people hitting a volleyball, playing badminton, kicking around was it shuttlecock, or whatever, playing hacky sack, playing soccer, whatever. If you walk into this public park, rule 1, big smile. Rule 2, say hi to everybody. Inevitably, someone's going to say hi, and 5 friends are going to come up and want to talk to you. They're inevitably going to get invited in to play hacky sack, shuttlecock, or, again, badminton with folks. They would love to have you. If you want to get in and kick the soccer ball with people, they would love it. If you just want to sit there on the sidelines and say hi to people, you will have infinite people coming up to you, say hi, talk for a little bit, and then either keep hanging, invite their friends over to meet them too, or maybe they're going to go and 5 more people are going to show up. You will not be alone. If you go to a public park, rule 1, rule 2, big smile, say hi to everybody. You will have infinite friends. And you can meet 200 people in one weekend, in one day, if you really got after it. So this is a terrific plan. If anyone were to come here to Vietnam and want me to coach them, help them, get them rolling, kickstart their whole life, etc., yep, there'd be a couple days. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Yeah. Peter, in your experience, you just have to be there and they'll come to you. Peter is an excellent example of a fella, who's been having terrific luck. Just moved to Hue City here and extraordinarily friendly. And shoot, I'll bet, Peter, you're probably close to 200 friends already. I'm sure you got over 200 friends in just a couple weeks. But yeah, rule 1, rule 2. And Peter is a good example of he's good at both. He's got a terrific smile and does say hi to everybody and is super nice and has got some Vietnamese in his back pocket. Boom. So yeah, it's again, overall a terrific life. If you play your cards right in that regard. I've got other folks who are, into the sciences or, oh yeah, overflowing, yeah. And maybe, Peter, you can tip the hat on this. It does get ridiculous. It is reasonable to get 20 Facebook friend invitations a day. Yeah. It does get overwhelming. It can, certainly. So yeah, you almost have to filter to some degree because sometimes friends will my friend of a friend is an American guy? Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. Your friend of your friend is an American guy? Oh, I want to meet him too. Blah, blah, blah. And so I get Facebook invites from people I've never met before, and I have no idea who they are. Okay? That happens. But inevitably, it's going to take it as it comes, take it as it goes, I guess. Anyway, if you're into like the sciences and stuff like that, well, yeah, there are hospitals here, and then there's medical colleges. Great. Well, go to the coffee shop right next to the medical college. Inevitably, you're going to have doctors and nurses and practitioners and pharmacists and teachers and, college professors and dot, 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 that are all swinging in there. Rule 1, big smile. Rule 2, say hi to everybody. If you just sit there with a big smile, say hi to everyone as they're coming in, inevitably, you're going to meet 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 medical-related people a day. Easily. And if you give every one of them a business card, inevitably, you're going to have a huge list of friends and effectively infinite invites after that. Oh, and inevitably, somebody is going to want your help with something. They're going to, and these are examples from my own experience, they're going to want help with their master's thesis, or maybe they're giving a slideshow presentation. They want to make sure their English pronunciation is on point. Maybe they want to study at an international college of some kind in one way, shape, or form. Okay. Maybe they want you in the college as a guest speaker. Did that twice. In the college as a guest speaker for one day, just to talk about culture, your life, talk about South Africa, Australia, America, compare hospital systems and insurances there to here, something like that. Inevitably. Maybe they're going to have like a textbook that's in English, and there's 2 chapters that they need to understand more clearly. So they just need it from complicated English into simple English. Let's just say. The list goes on and on. In fact, you could make an entire career out of just this tiny little angle here in Vietnam easily, almost effortless. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 1, rule 2. So, in my own case, I enjoy going to the bars, and I enjoy old guys. The reasons being, yeah, they're super friendly, and I can sit with anybody anytime. Check. Another big reason is they're not on their damn smartphones. What I mean is, it's not a cell phone party. I can peek into a coffee shop, and it happens a lot. I'll see 8 Vietnamese people who all got together for lunch, and not a single one's talking to anyone. 8 out of 8 are all on their phones. They're either gaming, messaging, YouTube video watching, etc. I realize the irony of saying all this while on YouTube Live, but fact remains. Old guys usually don't have that. Old guys are usually sitting there, taking in the breeze, watching the street, saying hi to people. Yeah. All right. Yeah, sorry about that brief intermission. But anyway, yeah, in general, kicking it with old guys is a great way to go. And ultimately, a lot of good luck. And they can be the funnest to practice your Vietnamese, to start building your network, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, ultimately, welcome back. Yeah, ultimately, it's worth, when it comes to building your network, it's worth building a broad network, okay? Meet some younger people. Meet a couple of those old guys. Meet some really beautiful women in the coffee shop. Meet some doctors and nurses. Meet some service industry kind of people. Sure, meet some couch surfing people. Meet, if you're into dating and stuff, folks on Tinder, go right ahead, do what you want to do. But ultimately, don't be afraid to make as many friends as possible and have as broad of a network as possible. So, yeah, again, that's the big idea here in the end is, again, go broad. Try every strategy. Always be meeting people. Always have these business cards handy. Always be ready to go. Have 100 in your pocket all the time. Be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready. And, yeah, in the end, this is if you are always ready, always passing out business cards, always meeting people, always in meet mode, you're going to win. Now, I wanted to focus on these the videos that I have in this, that I linked in the description here. Yes, there is a guy, Alex something or other, ninja teacher. He was living in a city of 150,000 people. And he was lonely. Lonely. This is absurd. Okay? He's deaf, mute, and illiterate. And not friendly and not outgoing. And effectively met 0 Vietnamese people. Can't even read his own street sign. And when people ask him, what's your name, where are you from? In 5 years or 6 years, he can't count to 10, and he can't answer basic questions. As a result, he gets very depressed and lonely. Don't be that guy. That sucks a lot. A lot. And people fundamentally will be polite to him, but feel that a guy like him is less intelligent, because he is. So, inevitably, people who fall in this end of the gamut are going to run out of steam after a while. People who do not learn Vietnamese and do not reach out and do not pass out business cards, do not make local friends on this end of the gamut, inevitably run out of steam, get bored, get sad, get depressed, want to go home, get lonely, sit at home and watch Netflix all day, every day, and their life sucks. So, if you want to retire and move to Vietnam, don't forget about the people. It's the people that are going to make or break this entire trip for you. So, don't come here just to sit on the beach. Come here to meet as many people as possible, in every dimension possible. Learn as much Vietnamese as possible. If you have, let's just say, 50 Facebook friends right now, come to Vietnam and give it a month, you'll probably have 300 if you play your cards right. Now, I did want to cover a different topic, which is volunteering and volunteership. If you want to volunteer at a school, is easy. Old folks home, orphanage. But if you just want to volunteer meeting people, be a volunteer soccer coach, for example. You name it, that's where you're going to meet an incredible number of ultra high quality people. And back to back. In fact, that's how I met my wife. Because my first year here, I was a volunteer. I built a computer lab for a school and ended up meeting, about, just in the school alone, about 100 people in my first week, let alone another 200 or 300 people in my neighborhood in the first, month or something. But yeah, when you got that, all issues are handled. So if you're coming here to, let's say, retire or live in Vietnam long term, I would say find a volunteer opportunity of some kind in some dimension or another. And you will inevitably make lots and lots and lots of friends. Say yes to every single social engagement. You're going to get a lot of people begging you to come out to coffee, come out to lunch. Say yes to all of them. Yeah. And when you go there, have your business cards. Rule 1, big smile. Rule 2, say hi to everybody. Yeah. So if you do that, you're going to make 5 new friends over lunch. Inevitably, someone's going to invite you out to a secondary, lunch, dinner, or whatever. Oh, we're having coffee this afternoon if you want to join us here. Yes. Bring your business cards. Rule 1, have a big smile. Rule 2, say hi to everybody. Yep. And just keep running with it. To be fair, a lot of people will say, well, Brad, I just need 2 or 3 friends and then I'm good. You're a social butterfly, Brad. You meet everybody. But I only need 2 or 3 friends and I'm happy. I'm more of an introvert, etc., etc., etc. That's fine. In fact, I only have, in terms of super close friends, just a few. But what we're talking about here is not only your very close friends. We're talking about the next layer, which is the folks you know their name and see them occasionally. And if you don't want to eat alone or have coffee alone, give them a holler. That kind of thing. If 6 months goes by, so be it. But still, I'm talking about that circle. And that circle, or end of the funnel, if you will, it's nice to have at least 200 people that you can reach out to on demand. On a long enough timeline, you're going to be up to well over 1,000 people that are in this cloud around you. Again, that doesn't mean you have to hang out with them every day. No, it's not stressful. No, it's not difficult. And no, it's not like socially straining. But to just have 1,000 people that you could, or 200 to 1,000 people you can just reach out and connect with at any given time is awesome. So yes, If I meet a guy who's into tattoos, I can be like, oh, hold on. My 5 tattoo buddies. Hey, you guys want to go out to lunch? I want to introduce you. Done. So even if you're introverted, even if you're a quieter person, even if you focus on only having a couple of close friends, and that's your standard MO, so be it. But expand, 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 expand. Okay? Expand, expand, expand. Always be meeting people. Always be out to shake some hands. Always be ready to, again, meet as many people as possible. Okay? Again, are you an infant and a baby, or are you a real man? Are you a dumb idiot and a fool, or a champion? Always be a champion. Always be a champion. Now, there's a few other miscellaneous tips here. And that would be like, yeah, totally miscellaneous. Try to have buddies that are, here we go. Miscellaneous tips. Use your social network as much as possible ahead of Facebook or other online. Anyway, yeah, sorry about the intermission, y'all. But the bottom line is random tips. I don't use Ab, for example. I don't need it. I just ask people. Hey, can you call a taxi for me? Do you know anyone who's a taxi guy? That works. Also, I don't look online for properties. I just ask my friends. Hey, do you know of any properties in the area? Blah, blah, blah. Buying and selling a motorbike. Yep. I don't look online. I just ask my friends. So the bottom line is use your social network. So, yeah, everything from, I got my bicycle because I just asked in my coffee shop and somebody had one. Awesome. Everything I could reasonably need, I just get through my social network of people. I don't even call the cab company anymore because I have 5 buddies that are cab guys. That's pretty cool. So looking at it this way, it's actually really useful to, again, take advantage of your social network everywhere that you can in every way that you can. If you've got 200 friends, all solutions are handled. All things are handled. And learning Vietnamese. I don't need to pay for a teacher because I have 200 friends. So I can go and study or learn or be good at Vietnamese or speak Vietnamese all day, any day I want. Yeah. Again, I don't need to call a cab company. I don't need to call, if I need to move, I just go to the bar and then I just ask my friends, hey, any of you guys know anybody that can move anything for me? Yeah, I'll call up my buddy for you, blah, 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 blah. Yep, done. Yeah, you actually out here don't even really need a smartphone as long as you got your social network. Now, along the way, when you get married here in Vietnam, you have a Vietnamese family. Yep, same thing. You need construction done in your house, a bathroom redone, stuff moved, you want to rewire your house or whatever the case is, you got a network. So really acknowledge having that social network here, real social network, personal contact, not necessarily just Facebook contact, is what makes or breaks you, here in Vietnam. So anyway, I've got to get running, y'all. Thank you for your patience, especially with the intermissions here. But I hope that you all have some great luck with that. If there's anything more specific I can help with, or you have any more specific questions, feel free to fire away. And yeah, I got to run now. This is not the last time I talk about the social aspect of it all, because again, it's fundamental to your life here, in not only Vietnam, but any country you travel to. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy your Monday or Sunday, and see you next time, huh?